Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Down. 10-2 stop.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Leonard Fournette. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. It's a quarterback sneak. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. On those sneaks, Charles, so many arms, bodies in there. Tough to protect it. You see it there.
And you and I both know that behind closed doors, coaches just call that careless. You know you're going into a mass of bodies and they're going to be reaching for the football, and you're taught just to get low, protect the ball, and just drive forward and get what little yardage you need. In this case, let the ball get away from his body. It got knocked free.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd down, here's Fournette pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
On the ready.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Nice, sweetheart. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check 52.
Go. Five.
Fournette, a first down carry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Break.
149. I got one. 3.
Go.
15. I got 15.
Hey, Haywood.
49. 49's a mark. 49.
2.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
On the set.
Mark 49.
Rock it. Do. Check the go.
They'll run with Fournette. Fights through and now a crease. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Play action. Allen steps away to his left. Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And that is Allen still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Fournette running out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On the run, it's Fournette. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, Fournette. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And this one is right through. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you try to have a few men in the box there.
16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Green brings it in. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Bridgewater now. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Deron Payne able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. To throw, Bridgewater. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Ready up.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Me and you all day. All day.
On first down, Ford caught by the tight end Ertz. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is Fournette, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Open man is Gordon, complete. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
49, come on,
Throwing on first down. Ford. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They go back to the ground now with Fournette, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
To throw on 3rd down, Ford gets it to Gordon. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 27-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. It's complete to Golden Tate. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
On the double.
Mike 29.
Look at me. Door.
Watch out. Slam. Tighten up.
Get it.
Fournette. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll try the left side. Peyton. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, a run with Cohen. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They go play action. Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
On the ready. 51's the mic. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Let go.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well,
and that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Hayden Hurst. His first touchdown on the year as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that will put them on top here in the third. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 5. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back to throw. 4. That's complete. It's Gordon. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Fournette. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Let's go.
A big run by the big man Fournette. 45 yards on the ground.
Come on,
so into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. From the gun, Ford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Larry Ogunjobi able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, it looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Looking to throw. Ford. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Finding Knox there, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. On play action, it's Bridgewater. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Operating from the gun. Ford. Hurts over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 18. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. Back to throw. Ford. He completes it to Tate. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. You've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
Check, 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 check. Check 3, check 3. Alert 3.
Now they'll toss here to Powell. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Bilal Powell, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
We gonna work.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Come on, fellas.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. Bridgewater to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready?
49, come on. 49.
Look, squeeze.
Check 43.
Ready?
A handoff, Fournette running left. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
Here we go. Set. Get the 18 data. 18 data. Get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
We own it. We own it. Rush in. Rush in.
Now Bridgewater. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Watch twins.
Here's Bridgewater. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So now Catanzaro comes on in a pressure spot. This to tie things up in the final minute. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Looking to throw. 4. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the...
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Bears, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll be on...